for the country, which is quite incredible. So he had amazing perseverance and powers to overcome the difficult times. So yeah, for me that's a really important trait to have.
Thanks, Steve. So before I get to the next set of questions, we would love to have some questions from the audience. So anyone who would want to ask a question? Anurag.
Hi Steve.
Hi.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
So in Jan 2020, just before the COVID, you traveled to India.
Yes.
For the spirit of cricket to capture the moments.
Yes.
While your book has done total justice to it, could you share your experience as to why you have chosen India to capture those moments?
Yeah,
and your
sure.
experience through the project.
Yeah, it's called The Spirit of Cricket, and what it was I've been travelling to India since 1986, and I always used to sit at the front of the bus because I'm curious and inquisitive and like to see what's happening in India. As you would well know, is very different to Australia. There's not that many people in Australia. When you go to India, there's people everywhere. So the first time I went to India, I was just fascinated by it. Wherever I looked out the bus window, there was games of cricket, whether it be the beach or the streets or the back alleys, or it was just incredibly amount of games of cricket. And I always took a camera with me, so I could take photos from the bus. But every time I stepped out of the bus, as you know, in India, when you play cricket, you're pretty famous, so I couldn't take any photos because you get swarmed. Literally in 20 seconds, there was 1,000 people around, so I couldn't take any photos. So one day I said to myself, when I've retired and maybe when my profile is a bit less, I want to go back to India and try and capture why cricket is a religion to the people of India through my camera lens. And I had the opportunity 2.5 years ago now to go to India for 18 days. And I went with Harley, my manager, at the back there, and I went with this incredible photographer, a guy called Trent Park, who basically was teaching me how to take incredible photographs using the right sort of shutter speed and aperture and getting the light right and getting the mood right. And so I wanted to go around India. It wasn't about capturing the superstars, it was more the grassroots people. So we went and had a game of cricket up in Dharamshala with the monks, which was an incredible experience. We played cricket on the beaches, we played cricket in the desert, we played with the Blind Cricket Association, with the physically challenged cricketers, the Women's Cricket Academy. We photographed a 100-year-old, a 3-year-old boy who was a bit of a superstar on Instagram. And one of the highlights for me was actually taking a photo of Sachin Tendulkar, believe it or not. Because we'd played a lot against each other for many years, and when you play against them, you don't really get to know them. But since I've retired, I've got to know Sachin better, and he's a fantastic guy. But what happened was I wanted to take a photo of the oldest living cricketer in India, a guy called Vasant Raj, who's sadly since passed away. But it was his 100th birthday, so I said I'd come and photograph him, but I wanted to have a surprise for him, so I invited Sachin to come along as well. And he's very generous with his time, and he came along and we had a photo of the 100-year-old with myself and Sachin. And I said, do you mind if I take a photo of yourself, Sachin? Because I thought, what a great opportunity, I'm never going to get that again. And I took this really nice photo of Sachin he had a red top on, I think he had jeans on, he had no shoes and no socks. And the best comment I had about that photo is when I took it, my wife actually said, that's not a photo of Sachin Tendulkar, it's a photo of Sachin the person, which you don't often see. So